Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Boys and girls, we are live here at the legendary Watkins Glen, where the LMP2 cars are about to tear through this legendary circuit like a pack of wild animals on a roller coaster. My name is John Stam. Welcome in here to Stam Studio Network. Tonight we have the IRPAS LMP2 NITE series going to bring off the inaugural season here, going to kick it off out at Watkins Glen, and we got some limited fuel here on our cars, 82%. It's going to be a fuel saving strategy game, and hey, I'm all here for it. Oh, it's going to be a 40-minute shootout, corners tighter than your grandma's hug right after or right before you're getting ready to leave. This is going to be really a blast, and if you don't have a snack, if you don't have yourself a drink here just yet, well, you're going to make sure you want that. You're not going to want to get up throughout this whole 40-minute long event of both pro and am drivers taking it to the circuit. Let's see what we are working with here today. You see it's here, great night for racing. Matter of fact, we are running the boot configuration, 3.36 mile circuit, 82 degree Fahrenheit track temp, 78 degree Fahrenheit air temp, 45% humidity point, partly cloudy skies with 2 miles per hour. Appreciate everybody joining us here in Stam Studio Network. I like to shout myself out as the producer and commentator. You guys like to call the director here behind the scenes. Let me know if just what you want to see. If there's something that you want to hear just a little bit better, please don't hesitate to let me know in the live chat. Let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. Sam Bentley's going to put it on the pole. Lucas Haller will start there right beside there with them. Sam, driver of Nicholas Meyer, will be at P3. Samuel Cruz, P4. Shane Wells, P5. John Jennings is out here in the LMP2 series. I think this is a newer car for him, he was saying in the pre-race. Matthew Sherwood, P7. Brandon Mateo, Dan Fendick, the league owner here tonight, P9. John Hicks Gunny, and Cody Durkin, rounding out our 11th field drivers here tonight. We got Sam Bentley asking for a livery competition. Oh, you best believe it. We have one just about every race on SSN, and while we have just a whole pace lap to go here, let's take a look at some of our drivers' liveries here tonight. Starting off with Sam Bentley, he was asking for it there in YouTube chat. Hello Kitty, number 37 LMP2. Oh, gonna watch out for that car on this start. It will be an orange flag zone all the way up the carousel here into the bus stop, and then we will lift that orange flag zone. Orange flag just means, hey, a little bit more careful than you normally are, and that is only on opening lap of the race. Got Nicholas Meyer here in a little more calm. We'll call it a yellow, white, and black Pennzoil paint scheme. Also have a Fendi LMP2 paint scheme. Did we skip over it there? The number 8, Samuel Cruz. There that is. Oh, that's the Ferrari right behind Samuel Cruz. Gonna have Shane Wells and his number 99. It almost looks like a whole different prototype machine there. John Jennings, just a purple people eater here for that number 17. Brandon Mateo and the triple ones out of Santa Monica will be starting out here. P7. It's going to be a blast. We still have quite a pace lap to go, so I'd like to ask you guys here in YouTube land, possibly who is your race pick to win both in the Pro and Am class. There is Mr. Dan Fendick in that really nice Evaz Designs Fendi Racing LMP2 livery. That's all the onboard cams here tonight on SSN. We're looking out the cockpits here of Mr. Dan Fendick, and with this driver starting here, looks like P10 on the field. We'll have to see what the old 327 can do and what spots can make up after that orange flag zone is released, of course. But right now, I mean, the Sam Bentley and Lucas Haller, we're going to have to focus our attention to these two drivers. Ooh, Lucas Haller in that Ferrari-themed LMP2. This is just about to start to get good. We are just probably halfway through the pace lap now. You still have just a few, about a minute or two to grab yourself that beverage of choice, that salty snack, because once again, you're not going to want to leave the seat. If you're just now joining us, my name is Sean Stam, and welcome in here to my own Stam Studio Network. It's going to be just me up in the commentator booth here tonight, but might be all that we do need, because this race is going to be action-packed here in the IRPAS LMP2 NITE Series. Finally coming to the end of this long pace lap. Just 2 more turns to go until the green flag drops and we get racing of upwards of 60 miles an hour in these prototype machines. Cardboard fans are up on their feet. I hope you are as well at home. Here we go. Sam Bentley, Lucas Haller, Samuel Cruz, Nicholas Meyer, John Jennings, Shane Wells, Brandon Mateo, Matthew Sherwood, Dan Fendick, John Gunny, and Cody Durkin. Sam Bentley, Lucas Haller, field is in your hands. Green flag is out. We are racing from the one, the only Watkins Glen International. The boot layout. Here comes Lucas Haller working the outside line. Makes it work here into turn 1. Remember, we are in this orange flag sort of layout up until we finally make it up and through the bus stop. Here we go, single filing up and through the S's. This is a little too wide further back in the pack. John Jennings, that purple people eater, the number 17, and making moves early on, but we're going to single file things back out through the bus stop here. Samuel Cruz works his way up to P2 off the start in an incident. Dan Fendick, Shane Wells is involved. Alrighty, we will keep things moving up here towards the front of the pack, and of course, take a look at, Lucas Haller destroys his prototype. Wheels go flying up into the stands. Look out! That number 1, our driver who started second place here, going to fall back, continuing to lose spots. Samuel Cruz comes cresting over the hill. Got that Am driver here of Nicholas Meyer right behind. John Jennings also gaining 3 spots on the start, just like our race leader of Samuel Cruz has. That number 8, the Fendi Black. Call that LMP2 NITE paint scheme. Liking what I'm seeing for Samuel Cruz. Out to the lead early on. Nicholas Meyer works his way up to P2. John Jennings with a massive start works his way to P3. Matthew Sherwood, Brandon Mateo, 4th and 5th. We get too far away from it. This is heading into the bus stop for the first time today. We're looking at Dan Fendick here. Oh, it's going to happen. Okay. Oh, it gets... Okay, so 2 different incidents. Dan, I think, had possibly overreacted from the incident in front where it looks like Shane Wells had gone off the track and collected 1-2 drivers here with them. This is going to be that incident now. No, it's the number 37 who starts this all off, Sam Bentley, and then Shane Wells just nowhere to go. We're going to have to see what starts all of this here. We'll hop on board with the driver of the 37 here now. This is on the restart. He's on the inside line, and we'll just have to ride this one out, see where we end up here. start I saw was clean, but as we cut to the blimp cam up and through the S's here, what happened to Sam Bentley? Possibly winning our livery competition here today early on. Here we go into the bus stop. Things are looking all clean. Now we'll hop back on board with him. Who takes too much of the first sets of curbs? No, the second set just bottoms out, and that's the exact curb that we saw Dan Findy on. Wonder if his LMP2 also bottomed out as well. Battle for the lead starting to, well, not heat up. Opposite of it, cool down. There you go. 2.5 second gap between Samuel Cruz, Nicholas Meyer. Not missing too much there. Matter of fact, we can take a look at the lap time comparisons between the two. Cruz starting to look like he's going to run away from that AM driver, leading in AM class, call it Nicholas Meyer, and comparing him to John Jennings. Well, Nicholas running away from John. An excellent start here for the number 17 tonight. Our Aussie buddy John Jennings having himself a good run, I believe is an AM driver. Sorry, it's not saying it up there in the graphics. But yeah, mentioned it earlier pre-race. We do have these two different races going on here within one race. The Pro and AM categories. Matthew Sherwood is also having himself a really nice run here tonight, up 3 spots on the day. Liking what I'm seeing. More simplistic Fanatec white and black paint scheme. It's looking good here. Hopefully going to keep it up, and he'll get some ever needed playoff points headed Matthew's way as well. Everybody needs the playoff points. It is just the start of the season. Brandon Mateo up to P5. Also 3 spots on the race. And our biggest race movers right now are tied for 6th and 7th. Got John Hicks Gunny and Cody Durkin here. The 308 and the 322 are both up to 6th and 7th. That is 4 spots each. Start to give you the sights and sounds of these engines a little bit, but no, it's not just quite time for a crank it up just yet. Gonna continue to watch Samuel Cruz go around up and through the S's here, makes his way down into the bus stop again. We are just now approaching at minute 5.5 out of a long 40 minutes to go. And unfortunately, after a little hectic start here through the bus stop, the gaps starting to show themselves a little bit. And, well, Samuel starting to run away from Nicholas Meyer even more. About a half of a second since the last time I mentioned it. I really do appreciate Dan, the IRPAS series, all the drivers here for bringing me on for another series this Friday night, and we'll have the regular IRPAS series back in action here for you tomorrow night, also on Stam Studio Network. Be sure you check us out and possibly see where your favorite driver, friend, or family member is running. If you're newer here to the boot layout in Watkins Glen, it's a little bit different than that NASCAR layout. I'll flash that track map up in the top right of the screen. Here you see we added quite a few turns onto it, and you got to go up and through the toe of the boot this time by. And, well, it's just such a longer variation of track, even more corners for you to possibly catch yourself slipping in. Nicholas Meyer trying to hold that gap steady to our leader, Samuel Cruz. It's not happening, though. It's continuing to grow. Now 3.5 seconds almost. John Jennings just 2.5 seconds back of Nicholas Meyer. I think he started to close down that gap a little bit. Taking a look at the lap sectors between the two drivers. Just a little bit for John Jennings. Well, excuse me, that's Matthew Sherwood compared to John Jennings here. Last sector, sector 5 there. Looks like Matthew Sherwood was closing that gap ever so slightly. Matter of fact, does it again there in Sector 1. We could start to have a battle for this 3rd place, this final driver interview spot. If you're newer here to SSN, I do like to try and give these top 3 finishers a word after the race. Let them shout out whoever makes it possible for them, whether it's friends, family members, sponsors. It goes a long way, and after a 40-minute race, it's always fun to hear what these drivers have to say. Drivers, if you're listening, if you are in that top 3, or even Matthew Sherwood close to him, well, got to remember, those top 3 will come away with the driver interviews, and this is a battle starting to brew here for the P4 spot. Brandon Mateo is starting to close the gap ever so slightly there to that AM driver, Matthew Sherwood, sitting in P4. And no, that is not John Jennings running here right in front of, or excuse me, in the sandwich of Matthew Sherwood and Brandon Mateo. I believe that's Shane Wells. It is, yes, he is back here out on track. We had 2 fast repairs, not the normal instant repairs that some series do like to run. But speaking of that, I'm just, well, never mind. I'll save that for a later date. But yes, 2 of the instant repairs here tonight, and then which are different than those. What do you even call it? Well, okay. Well, instant repair is where you don't have to come to pit, and then the fast repair is when you do have to limp all the way back around to the track, or to the pits. So it's it adds just a bit more pace, or to a bit more gaps to the drivers that you were trying to fight with. Shane Wells just trying to fight for P10, and to Sam Bentley, which is just about 4.7 seconds in front of him. He's just got some work to do here. Here goes Sam Bentley around our driver of the 17. Man, Sam had some pace here tonight, but he doesn't get the pass done, but unfortunately also getting involved. Lap 1 there out of the bus stop. Actually, I believe that was his own incident there. Looking out of our diffuser cam of John Jennings onto Matthew Sherwood. Excuse me, not Matthew Sherwood, the driver of 37, Sam Bentley. Going to start to see the pace differential between these two. Sam with lots of pace, a pro driver, but possibly not wanting just to shove the issue too much on a P3 running driver. All right, I tried to make it at least halfway, but we might have to split this race up in fourths. Oh, boy. All right, crank it up. I'm going to take a break off the mics. I'm going to bring you the sights and sounds of the racetrack. Let these engines come to life here for you. I'll be right back here up in the booth on SSN. Alrighty, go ahead, crank it back down. I'm back up here in the booth to bring you some more commentating action, and that got a little loose there on Brandon Mateo on the exit to the bus stop. Runs into the grass. Those left side tires possibly going to be just a little bit less grip this time by. Those left hand side tires, excuse me, they're picking up all the grass especially with how hot the track temp is. What kind of tires are these on the LMP2 cars? Regardless, they're going to continue to bring us a really nice battle. Brandon Mateo liking what I'm seeing out of the 111 machine here. Still holding off John Hicks, but he's in a sandwich here with Matthew Sherwood right there in front of him. Not missing too much here out in the front of the pack. Samuel Cruz has about doubled it since we last took a look at it. What was 3.5 seconds, now looking at 5.5, almost 6-second gap. John Jennings is still, he's P3, but that gap is still not shrunk either. Trying to reel in our AM driver of Nicholas Meyer. And although this isn't a battle for position on track, it's kind of a battle of wits and racecraft and sportsmanship. Here, the 37 Sam Bentley has worked his way back, got around John Jennings, now trying to pass Nicholas Meyer, but it's just how hard do you try and work? How hard do you try and shove your car where a place probably where it doesn't belong and try and make a pass done? Even though you are still at P9 here on track, trying to reel in the next driver, what would be Cody Durkin, 54 seconds to go for Sam Bentley. It's definitely not out of the possibility as we have so much time left in this race, looking 25 minutes to go, almost halfway there. And I mean, it's not battle on the graphics once again here, but it is a battle between two drivers that are going to go week in and week out with each other. Sam Bentley possibly winning our livery competition here today. John Jennings slowly reeling these guys in, or trying to. That purple people eater, number 17, having himself a really nice run here tonight. Going to help him out with a nice start in the point standings. Gosh, the glare off the track, it's really starting to blind you there, but if you just haven't gotten enough of your racing fix in, be sure to check out the SCEL Sports Car Endurance League. We'll be broadcasting their race about 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time here on STAM Studio Network. I'm going to be honest, a little bit worried because there's probably 100 drivers that make their way into that session, and every time I am met with some sort of technical issue. So if you want to come see me try and work things out as they happen in front of quite a big audience, oh, it's always fun. I'm sweating starting to think about it here. So SCEL coming up after the IRPAS. LMP2 NITE Series concludes here from Watkins Glen. We'll be over at the Virginia International Raceway road course. 3 different classes will be bringing us some action. There are actually 4 if you count also their Pro-Am series. So be there or be square, and don't make too much fun of me when those issues start to occur. But we don't have any issues over here in IRPAS, and the only issues that we did have were on the start, and since our gaps are starting to show themselves here, let's take another look at that restart. So everything, it was all fine right until the orange flag got released into the bus stop. Here, look at every driver giving each other room, and then we're even going to get single file here pretty quickly. But, well, it's not going to save us from the impending damage that will happen up here in the bus stop. And, well, just take a look, see what transpires up here. Damn, it looked down the inside into the bus stop and then just cuts the car a little bit too quickly there. And oh my gosh, just right across the racing line. Shane Wells nowhere to go. Then unfortunate for Dan, I do believe that he had just overreacted there and made the same exact mistake. Speaking of Mr. Fendi, he's back here out on track running 11th place. Only one lap down, 19 seconds down to Shane Wells. Could we possibly see Dan reel in Shane and even get a battle between those two drivers. Also have to remember 82% fuel here tonight. Who is saving just a little bit more? Who is sacrificing a tiny bit of pace to possibly go just a lap or two longer? Okay, well, I said the old SCEL. I'm really nervous about that. Once again, about 80 to 100 drivers, I'm not even kidding, will be out there on one race. It is, you know, different drivers, so you're on teams. That's how there's so many drivers. It's not all on track at once, but definitely makes the old hardware struggle. And well, I'm so scared. But once again, nothing to be scared out here at the IRPAS series. If you're newer here to SSN, well, I do all sorts of kinds of racing broadcasts, from a road course over to oval, even some short track oval been doing recently. Right now, we got some prototype racing. This is Matthew Sherwood trying to hold off. That's Shane Wells, I do believe. That number 99. He's running P10 right now and trying to run away from Dan Fenty, who he was inching ever so slightly, closing that gap. Looks like it's about the same. Samuel Cruz, man, it looks like he's... I don't want to give the Sean and Tater curse early on, but Samuel Cruz, what a race start. Started out there P3, if I do remember correctly. Worked his way up to the lead after that fiasco that happened lap 1, turn 1. Lap 1, turn 5 or 6 is at the bus stop. Liking what I'm seeing, and let's hop on board with Samuel Cruz. Possibly compare his lap line, his driving line to Nicholas Meyer. We'll take a whole lap on board with Samuel Cruz, and then we'll take a whole lap with Nicholas, possibly compare these two drivers. Goodness, Brandon almost bottoming out there. I think he did. That did not sound healthy for the diffuser, which keeps things moving and grooving for his number 111. Works his way up to P5 after starting, if I do remember correctly, P7 or 8th even there. Yeah, because he's up 3 spots there on the start of the race. So far, no other incidents to really take a look at. We have a Lucas Haller pass. This one on Cody Durkin. Oh, just making it look easy. As a matter of fact, I think Cody gave him a little point by there. Liking what I'm seeing at the 322, and this is also really nice paint scheme. Try to see the sponsor. It's hard when they're whizzing by at Mach 2, especially at the... Oh, the S's here heading into the bussy stoppy. But everything's all moving. Samuel Cruz, Nicholas Meyer, still not missing much. John Jennings, still P3. Man, these gaps. Our shortest gap right now, I'm looking 5.8 seconds between Sherwood and Mateo. Goodness gracious. I mean, I know we're at a little bit larger track here, but the speedway of kind of road course racing, at least in the NASCAR side that we call this place, it's so much fun. It's a lot faster than some of the other road course races that we go to. Little different layout here once again, running the boot configuration. Got to go even longer around this. What was it, 3.3 mile raceway? Correct me if I'm wrong there in YouTube land. Just over the 20-minute mark. We are just over halfway. I think it's time. I'll treat you to another Crank It Up as well. There's really just not too much action here on the track going on. Bring you through the field as well. Alrighty, crank it back down. Sean Stam back up here in the booth. Got Terry here in chat saying a nice looking car. Dan, yes, that is another Fendi Evaz Designs LMP2 paint scheme. This one, I guess, is the white variant. We've seen that darker colored variant here tonight. The 327, after bottoming out in the bus stop on lap 1, he's still out on the track, running P11 right now. Shane Wells, his way up to P10, unfortunately involved in that lap 1 fiasco. Sam Bentley is fallen to P9. What pace that we have seen out of the number 37 here tonight. Unfortunately, just not having enough time to make his way back up through. Cody Durkin plus 3 spots right now, as well as John Hicks Gunny. That's the driver of the 322 and the 308. Their LMP2 machines also having some really nice paint schemes. Looking at John Hicks Gunny now. The old 308 here out of Operation Motorsports. Appreciate you joining us in here tonight for our IRPAS inaugural race of the LMP2 NITE series. Lucas Holler. Lucas, lots of things. There's been some work going on behind the scenes. Lucas and I talking about some things and possibly some newer, well, I don't want to give things away yet, so I'll say surprises headed your way. Lucas, it's been fun to kind of work behind the scenes with you on that stuff and hopefully able to keep this going for both of us and as well as you here on track, keeping up that P6 spot. P5, we're looking at Brandon Mateo, seeing his car here a few times tonight on track. Call that the Bumblebee, yellow, or black and yellow, black and yellow. Liking what I'm seeing there. Matthew Sherwood, the 11, so just missing one extra number there. P4. Third, John Jennings. Second, Nicholas Meyer. And our leader. Might be saying, why am I rushing to it? Because Samuel Cruz, now with that 82% fuel. Did he possibly just not save enough? Or is this just the stop that, well, he knows that he has to make? These drivers have this fuel black box available to them. They can see estimated how many laps remaining on their tank, as well as how many gallons or liters if you are from across the ponds there. So it looks like a little bit more of a splash even going into Samuel Cruz's LMP2. That was a long stop. I mean, 13 minutes to go. I don't think he needed that much fuel. That will present Nicholas Meyer to the race lead for the moment, and you have to imagine that probably will be pitting the next lap or two, especially for John Jennings and Matthew Sherwood. But I mean, come on now, there's no way that you're going to take that much fuel. I mean, did we possibly just see the number 8 Samuel Cruz? No, a reference there, he's got the black box. You can see how much fuel that you need to take. Just interesting that that seems like a little bit longer of a fuel stop. Bringing up the I rating and safety rating classes here on the top left of your screen. Real quick, as we should have Nicholas Meyer and John Jennings in this time, but I do want to make the note. Our race leader right now, Nicholas Meyer, 1.3 or 1,300 I rating. John Jennings coming in at 2,300, and, well, Nicholas Meyer says, okay, I'm probably going to pit next time by. Same story there with John Jennings. Matthew Sherwood, 12 seconds back, 1,400 I rating. Top three right now shown to be in the A class. And, well, the driver, Sam Bentley, at number 37, who had tremendous pace, 1,900 I rating, also A class. Samuel Cruz looking like he was cruising to our race win earlier on, 1,900 I rating, also in the A class driver. Alrighty, so is this going to be the lap that we see Nicholas Meyer? I mean, he's got to be running on fumes at this point. Same thing there with John Jennings. I think you can take a little bit less fuel on the restart, but definitely not more than that 82%. So I know Dan put that in to have, or wanting a fuel stop, not even knowing if it would bring one, or maybe just keeping it secret to the drivers. So we have to, the drivers have to do a little math. But we'll have to see. Here's John Jennings, who works his way up to P2 now, or cycles his way to P2. We'll have to see where things cycle out after these pit stops. And is this the lap that we see Nicholas Meyer make his way down? It's not really on the right side of the track. No, he's gonna go by the pits once more. And let me just make sure I'm seeing this right here. We're gonna compare the pit stop strategies of our top runners. Yeah, okay, was not wrong there. Drivers 1 through 4 have still not pit. Lucas Haller pitting earlier on in the race, and then you see Sam Cruz as well as Hicks there, also pitting just on lap 15 and 16. Alrighty, I told you, I mentioned it earlier in the race. I said that we'd split this thing up into fourths for the Crank It Up. Minutes 30 out of 40, just 9.5 to go. The last Crank It Up of our race. And then I'll bring you all the rest of the action. I'll leave that track map up on the screen too, so you can see where your favorite driver is running. Enjoy these sights and sounds one more time here tonight on SSN. Crank this puppy up. Alrighty, crank it back down. I know that one was a little quick, but it's because what was our race leader, Nicholas Meyer, makes his way down to his number 2 pit stall. Going to be, well, we'll see here. We'll keep the camera on him. Let's see how long this pit stop is compared to Samuel Cruz as well. Here he comes right on by. That will cycle things out for Samuel Cruz. There he goes, right around, and now up into the S's. There goes Nicholas Meyer out of his pit stop. Matthew Sherwood and Brandon Mateo is in as well. There goes Matthew Sherwood at the box. Brandon Mateo is going to be left in the dust as he was just little bits later there entering in on that pit stop. Ooh, that was close with those left side tires. You have to, you got to make sure that you don't exit the pit exit. You see the blue cone? There's a blue line that runs across from where that orange line extended out to. Didn't look like any driver got a black flag there, but if you're newer to the iRacing universe, there is so much that goes into a clean pit stop, an efficient pit stop, whether it's the amount of fuel that you're taking, forgetting to possibly uncheck the tires. It's the list goes on and on. The pit stop entry, the pit stop exit. There's so much that goes into it, and that's why I really like Dan Findy for kind of incorporating a pit stop races. John Jennings, he assumes the lead for what was just a lap, and then we're going to see. Lucas Haller will come around. Here he is here. Has the last turn to go, and, well, he will cycle around, get past here. No, as Lucas has to bring it in as well for some fuel. I thought he was going to go one more lap. Here comes Samuel Cruz, going to cruise right past these two drivers. Easiest pass in the world as he passes them when they are in the pits. Here we go, lap 21. 34 minutes out of a 40-minute race. Lap times are just about 1 minute 40 seconds each. Just a couple more laps to go from Watkins Glen International here at the IRPAS LMP2 first season. The season open, or excuse me, not the first season. The season opener of our LMP2. I guess you could call it first season. This IRPAS NITE series, and we're seeing it the Fendi Evaz designed LMP2 NITE inspired paint scheme. Love that's what you did there, Evaz. Keep up your nice work. As I know you're like me, have some school to attend to when I'm not broadcasting or doing iRacing work. So obviously we have our priorities straight and in front of us, but man, you could have a little future there or a big future, excuse me, in some paint designs, because liking what I'm seeing here. Lucas Haller, this is, I thought he was going to go one more time by and kind of lead one lap here from the Glen, but not going to happen. He is inching ever so closely to Matthew Sherwood. Matthew, it's, not as much car rotation as Lucas Haller got that time by. Lucas able to get on the gas here just a little earlier. Do we see a dive bomb in the inside here out of Lucas Haller? No, just gets Matthew Sherwood to look right in that rear view camera. And does he set him up? No, not even go the uphill. We got 2 more turns this lap. But the time, the opportunities are running out if you're Lucas Haller. I get it, though. You're trying to size him up and make this as clean of a pass as possible. Both these drivers with tons of racecraft, and Sean and Tater Curse going to strike here in the IRPAS LMP2 NITE Series. Ooh, that's possibly could be even a black flag for Matthew Sherwood. I don't think he crossed the pit entry line, but it got damn close. Oh, right as I was mentioning it, that is just, that's not good timing there. Sean and Tater Curse going to strike here. Here we see it here, and I wonder, was the 17, they're coming into the pits already? Because, I mean, kind of slowed down what looked to be like the 11 there. We'll take a aerial shot at this, and then we'll cut back to, we have one more incident to look at, then we'll cut to some live action. It's hard to tell if he was coming into the pits or just trying to pinch down the corner. But unfortunately there, Lucas going to send him around, and yeah, there you see, passes the pit entry cones, goes around, so possibly asking for a black flag to be cleared. Before we cut back to live, here is a Cody Durkin incident heading into turn 1. Ooh, front brakes locked up and hard. Well, not too hard. Easily into those front tire barriers. And it's going to retain a little bit of aerodynamic damage, though, to that LMP2 machine. These prototypes so aerodynamically dependent, both at the front, the rear, and even underneath the car. Matthew Sherwood with a little scrape to the right side. So through the bus stop we go again. Samuel Cruz just Oh, I can't use it again, but going to... He's just got an 8-second gap, 9-second gap you could call it, to work with. Just has to crawl his way around here. No lockups, no tires dipped off the racing surface, and he will be able to hopefully come away with the season opener IRPAS LMP2 NITE Series first race win. Said just about all there is to say for Samuel Cruz. I mean, we've looked at his driving lines, we've listened in, we've just about done everything that there is, and I don't think there's anything that much more that we could say about Samuel Cruz. He's got the 1,900 I rating. He's got the driver skill. I mean, obviously the pace here tonight as well. Didn't even start there up on pole. He drove it up there from P3 or 4. Looks like we could possibly get the white flag lap this time by. If not, it's definitely going to be next. Yes, sirree, Bobcat Tail. White flag is out. This will be the final lap for us here in our first race of the LMP2 NITE Series. Nicholas Meyer looking P2. Here comes John Jennings, only 2 seconds back, though. Nicholas Meyer just does not need a simple mistake. No lockups. And will able to retain his P2 spot, as well as these top 3 drivers, if you're just now joining, will be interviewed after the race. So it's pretty special if you're able to get a finish in the top 3 in those podium spots, as it also helps out there in the points. Brandon Mateo is looking P4 right now. Has no real battle of Lucas Haller there behind him, but Matthew Sherwood, unfortunately, bringing it back down into the pits, does not get the black flag cleared. Unfortunately, has to take probably a 40-second hold here. Or, oh, thankfully, okay. Well, that makes me look real good. He started to enter the pit box, so what I thought was a hold, not going to happen, just a quick drive through, but, well, going to drop him back down to P6. Matthew Sherwood. Oh, that's you really do hate it with the pace that AM driver had here tonight. But Samuel Cruz is approaching some lap traffic, does not going to get there in time, is not going to impede his race win. Congratulations, Samuel Cruz. You have taken the checkered flag from our inaugural, our season opener here at the LMP2 NITE Series. Nicholas Meyer making his way around the final turn of the track tonight. Some flashy lights there for 17. John Jennings, we see you, man. Congrats on your podium spot. Brandon Mateo will bring it home, P4. Lucas Haller, Matthew Sherwood, Sam Bentley unlaps himself, but unfortunately will end up P7. John Hicks Gunny, P8. Shane Wells, a P9 finish on today. Cody Durkin and Dan Fendick, P11 on the night. We're going to take a quick ad break, take a quick vocal breather here. And whew, I'm going to bring you these driver interviews. Drivers, if you're listening, be sure to make your way to the interview room on the Discord. I'll be right there.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here in the Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam, and I am down here in Victory Lane with Samuel Cruz. Samuel, you got a copy, man?
I got a copy.
Holy moly, what a race. What a 40-minute long event. If you can, man, walk us through it. What was kind of happening throughout that race?
Oh, Lord. It was just everything kind of happened in lap one. Once I saw Bentley go flying off, and then once I saw Lucas also spin out, I barely missed that one. All I thought was, all right, just got to be consistent. And thankfully I was able to bring it home from there.
Consistency is that key, and as we take a quick look at that, once again, the snowball incident kind of from lap one, man, I mean, you had to have seen this happen in your mirrors, I guess, I do believe, and yeah, I mean, what kind of crossed your mind? Were you thinking, okay, that's less cars I have to deal with, or just head down at that point?
At that point, as soon as I saw what was happening behind, I was like, all right, head down. Let me try and make this gap so I can focus on putting down good laps each time, and thankfully that plan was executed today.
And then a few corners later, Lucas spins out right in front of you. Nice evasive action.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'll get the
Give me a heart attack.
pumping. Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Samuel, who makes it all happen for you here tonight?
Well, once again, I'd like to thank Dan for creating this league, having us all out. Love being here in IRPAS for LMP2 and GT3 tomorrow. Hopefully you all can tune in, and appreciate you, Sean, for broadcasting, man. Outside of that, shout out to everyone in Fendi Racing. Love the community.
Thank you, Sam. That goes a long way, both your thanks to me and the old Fendi Racing community. Lots of really nice drivers, as well as lots of drivers with some real nice race and pace. So, congratulations once again, Samuel Cruz, on conquering Watkins Glen here tonight.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Thank you, man. Nicholas Meyer, our P2 overall, matter of fact, will be our winner in the AM class. Nicholas Meyer, you got yourself a copy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, well, from your experience, from your point of view, what kind of happened there on the lap one out of the bus stop?
Yeah, I was just rewatching it. I mean, it literally happened right next to me. I think that first spin, I was just lucky enough to not have my left rear tire clipped by that. And I think just after that, and then we had the spin on lap 2, and I was just kind of sitting pretty in the amateur category, so I wasn't trying to push too much or go anything crazy. I was just in life save mode for the rest of the race.
Man, it'll make it happen for the race win in AM class. Nicholas, congrats, man. Who makes this happen for you here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the group is awesome. Definitely, Fendi 283, along with Cruz, Bentley, Wells, and Sherwood. Got a good little group going, and yeah, just happy to be here.
Man, we are happy to have you. Nicholas Meyer, congratulations on your win once again here tonight.
Thanks.
And P3, got John Jennings here. John, you got yourself a copy, buddy?
Yo.
Holy moly, man. You're going to gain 3 spots on that start. Bring it home, P3, the last driver interview spot. What was going through your mind here tonight, that driver of the 17?
Well, I had no idea what I was doing.
I remember you said that pre-race.
I literally bought the car 5 minutes before I joined the session. I was sitting there loading up the configurations and trying to find a setup when quali started. I borrowed a quali setup of Shane, which was great, and did an okay lap, P6 off quali, I think it was. And yeah, and you saw the rest. What happened at the top of the hill on the lap 1 only scared me because I thought, oh God, that's going to happen to me for sure. So, I was quite lucky it didn't. And Nicholas done a great job. He drove really well, as did Sam, of course. You don't win by fluke. You know, he had a bit of a run by himself up there, which was great. He put himself there. So good job to both of them.
Good job to you. A nice evasive action on that wreck at the top of the hill there. Man, go buy yourself a lottery ticket. That was skill, but man, maybe even a little luck in that miss.
A little bit of luck, I think, there. Yeah, it was good. I did hold my breath, though. I definitely held my breath.
Well, thanks, John, for taking just a quick little moment for driver interview. Who makes it happen for you here tonight?
Oh, Dan's the man, of course. But look, seriously, some of the new guys that have been coming through, Shane, as has been mentioned, Matthew, Sherwood, and Lucas up the front, usually doing a really great job. Inspires me. So lots of people do a good job, and I think it's really worthwhile.
That goes such a long way, hearing that in the community. I know that these drivers, they hear that. That seriously, that means a lot to Fendi as well as the whole community. Thank you so much, John. That's gonna go a long way.
No worries, mate. Thanks to you as well. You do a great job.
Woohoo! I appreciate that too. And well, John, that's our last driver interview here tonight. So I gotta catch the old plane ride out to Virginia International Raceway. Got another broadcast coming up, but I appreciate everybody for racing here tonight with us and joining in on the YouTube live stream. My name is Sean Stam. We're gonna take a look at the race results, and I'm gonna get on out of here. Appreciate everybody, and have a great rest of your night.
We are